Hi, it's Dr. David here, and Dr. Goot, this one's for you. Dr. Goot really reaffirmed for me that we need to focus on our foundations. So many of us forget the things that make practice great, that make us successful. And one of those is a simple new patient orientation. Here's the question. Dr. Goot asks, I work in an area that's been hard hit by the economy. One of the needed things I don't do that needs to be done is my healthcare orientation class. How do I fill up 30 minutes? What do I do? Is there a really good one out there? Do I make up my own? I'd like to purchase one, but I don't have enough money. Some of what you said tonight, referring to the call we recently had, helped me think of ways and things to convey, but I just don't know what to say. Well, Doc, first and foremost, congratulations, because you are about to break through to success in your practice. If you're not doing orientations and you've really never done them, and you can formulate a belief system in your mind that your patients need what you have, that if they knew what you knew, they'd do what you do, brother, you're going to have some amazing things happen to you. And I'm not blowing smoke at you. This is reality, because this is what happens. First of all, come from a purposeful place. I'm not sure that I know you, Doc, but be you. You're good enough. You deserve it. They need to know what you know. And that is the essence of a new patient orientation. You've got to transfer knowledge. You've just got to, not data, knowledge. It's a different thing. You don't want to just vomit stuff on them. You don't need to talk about the, D.D. Palmer and Harvey Lillard and kinesio neuropathology and all the crap that most people think they need to talk about. Look, I can't teach you how to do one right here, right now on deardrdavid.com. However, I can give you some real foundations, and then at a future date we might be able to talk in more depth. But here's what I believe an orientation is for. And by the way, you need to come up with the purpose of it for you. Most people think it's for educating and getting new patients. I think those are effects. For me, that's not a cause. The cause for me is building a relationship. I started it when they first called the office. I got deeply involved at the consultation. I furthered that relationship at the exam. I got him to say okay at the report of findings to commit to going out with me, right, to a little dance. We're not sure how long it's going to be at least they aren't sure. They've told me, yep, I'm in, but we don't quite know that yet. The orientation is the time where I can share who I am and why I do what I do. I don't really care about how I do what I do. It's why I do what I do. So, Doc, one of the things that you can do to fill up your 30 minutes or 45 minutes, or whatever it is just tell your story, whatever your story is. And it's a good enough story. And if you don't think you have one, dig. I guarantee that you have a story. Why'd you become a chiropractor? What does it mean to you? Do you practice because you got nothing better to do? Or do you really genuinely like to help people? Start off by just building a relationships foundationally. Then what I love to do, and I think is so powerful to do, is humorously or gradually or whatever your personality is, start lovingly challenging the audience's beliefs, whether there's 2 people there or 22 people there. Start challenging their beliefs. Don't attack them, just challenge them. How do you do that? Take some really common things and say, most people have followed a system their entire life called the healthcare system, but I've got a question for you. What is healthcare? And start asking people questions. Have them participate. You might want to follow up by saying, well, let me put it this way. How many of you have health insurance? And people will raise their hand. Great. When do you get to use your health insurance? And you egg them on until someone, it usually happens pretty quick, will say, when you're sick. Interesting. You have health insurance that you need to be sick for. Let's talk about health care. The health care is, we've got a crisis in health care, but let's define it because words mean everything. When do you usually use health care? And again, you'll start asking and people give the answer, and eventually someone will say, when you're sick. Interesting. So we have health insurance that's really sick insurance. We have health care. We have a whole system, trillion-dollar system, that's really a sick care system. And we wonder why people are so sick. Maybe it's because sick care and health care are 2 different things. And then doctors talk a little bit about that. You've lovingly challenged them to address that in their own mind, and you want them to come to their own opinions. Next, have them just challenge a few basic thoughts. Fever, is it good or bad? Why? Give them the analogy of boiling water if they're out camping. Why do you do that? Because it kills germs. Interesting. Wow, that's cool. What if the body was smart enough to know that? What if a fever was good? And then talk about, but we're so smart, not them. We are so smart that, we just figure, what the hell? We'll drug it. We'll medicate it. We can bring that fever down. But wait, you just told me fever was good. What's going on here? We've got $1 trillion industry telling you what to believe about healthcare. And in this office, we do things a little bit differently. We understand where health comes from. So, Doc, you can go on like that for 20 or 30 minutes easy. Simply build a relationship. Be you. You don't have to have any visual aids. It's cool to have them. You don't even have to have a spine. It's cool to have them. I used to show my subluxation station scans. I'd maybe show a little model of the spine or something like that, but you don't need any of it. Just be you. Lead them from a relationship to challenging beliefs, to telling them what you do in your office, not how you do it, but what you do it and why you do it, and that you want to serve as many people as possible. And then when you get comfortable at that, start asking for referrals. And stay tuned, because we're going to talk a lot about that and other things that we're doing here today as well. So I hope that gets you started, Doc. Just don't, here's the thing, just go do one. Just go out and fall flat on your face and then get up and dust off your knees. Say, pardon me, and do it again. And then do it again, and do it again, and do it again. And you're going to get really good at it. You know what? You're going to have fun doing it, and your practice is going to double, triple, and dectuple. Love that word. I want you to love it too. Have a good one, Doc.